Okay, here I want to talk yet some more about computing prime numbers in using the Java programming language. And I have basically the same program I had for my previous video, and I want to compute the some very large prime numbers, at least large for me, not large for the National Security Agency. Um, and to do that, I want to use this program. Now, on the first program, I illustrated how we can compute all the primes between 1 and 1 billion. And now, actually, I want to go for some larger numbers. Now, if you may recall, I don't actually recall if I said it or not, but in order to compute all the primes between 1 and 1 billion, I actually had to let my program run overnight. And so I want to compute some large primes, but I don't want to have to let it run overnight. So here we have our program again, and I'm not going to go over the details of what the individual statements do, or at least what all the individual statements do. But in particular, we declare right in the beginning of the program, which we call class prime numbers 2, we want to look at, and let me change the name of that program, if I may, to just prime 2. There we go, prime 2. So here I have my program prime 2. And in the beginning, I declare xi, yi, and num prime to be integer variables. And then I compute all of my prime numbers that I can find, and I computed them. I put 2 here in for this number. So for xi went from 2 to 1 billion. I computed all the prime numbers. And again, if you recall, I did it by basically dividing each number by 2, then by 3, then by 4, then by 5, all the way up to the square root of xi. Now, in order to avoid computing all of the primes and just getting the top few primes, let me change my for loop to go from xi goes from 999,999,900 up to 1 billion. So here I'm going to compute all the primes between this number here and this number here. Okay, so I compile it, and it compiles, and then I run it, and it gives me the two numbers in that region. Let me pull it up. Okay, and those two numbers are 999,999,929 and 937. So there are two numbers in that final 100 integers up to 1 billion. Now suppose I want to do the final 100 integers up to 10 billion. So I do this. Now I'm going from 9 billion, 999,000,000, 999,000 and 900 up to 999 9,999,999,900 up to 10 billion. And now I try to compile, and I get some errors. And in particular, I'm getting that the integer number is, this number is too large, and I also get that this number is too large. Now, if you check in your Java manual, you will see that these two numbers here in this statement are out of the range of values for integer values. And I declared xi to be an integer. So that means I have to, instead of having xi be an integer, I have to declare it to be a long variable. Long was a long integer. Now let me go down. There was another integer I declared here, and I want to make that long. This one right here, long. There we go. So now I take the zi, which I declared later in the program as an integer, and xi, yi, and num prime to be long integers. Now, let me try again and compile, and I still get an error. Integer number too large. Why is this? Well, it's because when I declare a variable to be a long integer, when I actually, for the first time here, when I assign it numeric values, the numeric values have to have an uppercase L at the end of the numbers to tell the computer that these are intended to be long integers, sort of like double precision integers, if you like. Now I compile, and it compiles properly. Okay, and now I run, and I have my answer here. Now let's be greedy. Let me add 2 more 9s here. 9, 9, 0, 0. And let me add 2 more zeros here. So we're going up pretty big here. You figure out how big that number is. What is it? A trillion. Is that what it is? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a million. 1, 2, 3. That's a billion. Yep, a trillion. Compile. Compiles. Run. Okay, so I got 4 numbers there. This is 999 billion, 999 million, 999,000, and 900. Between that and 1 trillion, I have 4 prime numbers: 37, 59, 61, and 89. And notice, by the way, that 2 of those primes are adjacent primes, adjacent odd numbers. So, this is an example on the declaration of a long integer variable, how to use it in a program, and something that could have caused you a fair amount of difficulty in debugging the program, not knowing and not realizing that you needed to put the L on the end of the number when you were assigning numeric values to the long integers. So until next time.